Look at the absolute destruction on the sand dunes. This used to be all the way down here. Crazy, the rain's starting to pick up and it's just going to get even more wild. Alright guys, a slightly different video today. We're outdoors. We have a cyclone warning here on the Gold Coast, but I'm also seeing a perfect storm brewing for Bitcoin. The last 24 hours has seen a very significant move for the US dollar. Now, as I'm outside and we have a cyclone coming, I might not be able to be online over the next couple of days. It's due to hit on Friday, our time here. I believe it's the 7th, and then also extend out to the 8th. So if I'm not online, I'll be on X. So make sure you're following me. The links will be in the video description, and I'll talk more about this with charts over on X. But for now, I think I'll just give you a quick update here in my garden, not next to my library, next to my Lamborghini, if you remember the old days of Tai Lopez, but out here in my garden, because by the time this cyclone's finished, my garden might not be as it stands. Might not be so tropical looking, but basically destroyed. Destroyed like the crypto and meme coin markets.
Is that a joke? Oh.
As I said, it's a quick update because of the conditions that we're in, and I might not even have internet. Essentially, the last 24 hours, we saw XRP, we saw the US dollar, we saw DXY break the swing low, break the 50% level that we've been watching for months now, and also close underneath that level. So what is the significance of that? Essentially, it has now met all of our conditions. We have an overbalance in time and price. We have a breakdown of a significant swing, which was at 105.4, and we have the close and breakdown of the 50% level. That was at about 104.9-ish, right? So we've got that now. It looks like the US dollar is going to, in the longer term, continue down. There could be a number of reasons for this. And of course, I know my audience is split with the loving Trump, hating Trump, whatever it might be. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I care about making money in the markets, and I hope that's what the serious folks out of you guys who are interested in the markets and making money, I hope that's what you're interested in too. It seems like what Trump is doing with the tariffs, yeah, there's so many different things. People flip it backwards and forwards with, you know, it's going to be great for jobs in America, and then when he cuts them, they say, oh, that's his art of the deal, negotiating powers and that sort of thing. It's the same thing over and over again. It doesn't matter really what my political beliefs are. I think Trump's going to do a lot of great things. Here we go. Winds are going to be over 100 kilometers an hour. It's going to be over 60 miles an hour of wind here. Probably not the biggest thing like you see in Florida, but pretty decent for us here because we're not really built or designed for this. Anywho, that's the way I see things going over the coming years. But before that, as I said, I think the perfect storm is brewing. The US dollar is breaking down. That's going to be good for Bitcoin. That's all I care about for this stage. For the stock markets, I think we've also got some good times coming ahead for the stock markets. As we've looked at with the sentiment readings and the price support levels for the S&P 500 and for the NASDAQ, we're basically hit around the first price targets. And if the low's not already in, then I don't think it's very far off. Okay, so we're going to keep watching that, of course, with March being the time frame that we're watching for. I might get out of the wind as much as I can here. And with that in mind, then that might start the turnaround for all of the markets. And the anchor point is then in for Bitcoin that we can start to measure up from. You know, the perfect storm there. You've got a nice low forming on extreme fear. You've got the US dollar breaking down, which is a good thing for assets. Maybe not your cryptos and altcoins. Like, that's going to take a little bit more ridiculousness and degeneracy for people to come back with their money and start to play that game there. But nonetheless, if we're just focusing on Bitcoin and more serious things, I guess, well, I think that you've definitely got that perfect storm brewing here for a nice move up for 2025. Where does this all end? Good question. I'm still looking out towards the second half of 2025. There had been some timeframes that I thought might be able to extend into Q1 of 2026, but it's still too far off. We're only March now of 2025, you know, Q1, that's 12 months away. Lots can happen in that time. So let's see how this move up happens for Bitcoin, that is, and whether we do start to see rejections again at the overhead resistance with that diagonal that's basically kept the market down the entire time, or if it's able to break through that, then we could really see things fly. In the meantime, however, I am just looking for this to be the low that's forming, and then that sort of, as the title says, that sort of perfect storm environment for prices to continue to rally. Speaking of prices for Bitcoin, the price that we're looking for is 95,200. I'm remembering these numbers off the top of my head. 95,200 because that was the top on the swing top on the day when Trump announced his strategic reserve. So if the market is signaling to us that there is more strength in it, there's more buyers out there to push the price above that level, then that's a pretty good sign, and we'll have an overbalance in time and price of any of the previous moves to the downside in this move of Bitcoins that went from 109 down to 78,000. So this move up, if it breaks over 95,100 and something, so call it 95,200, then we have the overbalance in time and price. And it would be over the 50% level as well of this range. I believe it's somewhere in the low 90s would be the 50%, but I'll post more about that on X. So the links will be in the video description. The free crypto and economic report link is also in the video description. TIA Premium is also down there as well if you guys want to join active traders and investors with their portfolio in this move to the upside and to the downside. And I might show you a little bit about the hectic waves that are out there. It's just absolutely crazy. You guys are on the Gold Coast, you're probably seeing it as well, some absolutely mental rides. But in terms of the markets, yeah, I think there's still another leg to go for the stock markets. Probably still another leg to go here for Bitcoin. At least that's the way I'm playing it. Cryptos, on the other hand, yeah, there's still a lot to be said about that. One last thing on cryptos. The USDT dominance is also beginning to fade again, which is a good sign here. We definitely don't want to see it close above 5.2%. I believe it was around 4.8-ish last time I looked at it this morning before I started filming. So that's a good sign there as well. Total crypto market cap is coming back a little bit. Needs some solid closes above $3.2 trillion. And yeah, everything's looking relatively good there for Bitcoin, especially with the strategic reserve. And in the way that Trump does things, right? He mentions a whole host of cryptos who the same deal with his art of the deal that so many of us think he is great at. He's mentioned all these cryptos, but maybe he just sticks with Bitcoin. We just don't know yet. So it's said on his X posts he's done that, but I was just thinking this morning about all the stuff that he said. I know this always triggers people. They believe that Trump does everything. Try to get over that. We all say a lot of stuff that doesn't get done, but that's just life. All hell would break loose in the Middle East if Hamas didn't respect the orders and that sort of stuff. And that literally just didn't even get headlines after he talked about it for the last time. That's it. We haven't heard about it. We might hear about it again, but it's just one of those things that reminds me that these things can get talked about. They can get mentioned on posts. Crypto strategic reserve, looking at XRP, ADA, Solana, they're all going to be included. Yeah, but maybe it's a letdown. We just don't know yet, okay? So just follow the charts, stay safe in the markets. And the last thing is real estate. We're seeing a little bit of a turnaround here for the Aussie market, a bit of a push higher, but the more important one is the US market, of course. And as I talked about in December, so 3 months ago, coming up, a week short of 3 months ago, I mentioned the first breakdown signal for our leading indicator on the US real estate and economic cycle. And we started to see that chart breakdown. Basically, Home Builders ETF, which is a basket of a lot of other home builders in the US. So we'll have to see what Trump comes out with to push this market higher, and whether the home builders go into a lower high, which would be weak, but the market and the masses would think that it is a sign of strength, in my opinion, because of how much they think the game has changed. Trump's brought in a new golden era, yada, yada, yada. Just go get it. Go get it. There's some good times ahead. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share the content with a friend, and I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully I can make another quick video like this tomorrow. If you like it, obviously let me know in the comment section and hit the like button so I know that. Okay, peace out. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully I can make it out. Potentially Saturday. Bye.